All right, this is SAT Prep. We're doing test 1, section 4, and this is number 36, which is a grid-in problem. For what value of x is the function h above undefined? There's a couple ways to do this. You could clean up, so one option is to clean up the denominator, which is fine, okay? So what it helps to know what it means to be undefined, right? So one option, what you're basically looking for is you're looking for when the denominator is 0. One way you could do this, so there's a bunch of different options. You could actually put this entire thing exactly as it is in your calculator as y1 and look for a vertical asymptote, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Another way to do this, right, so that's one option, right? Another way to do this is to just set the denominator equal to 0 and solve, right? So you could just set the denominator equal to 0 and solve if you know that that's what undefined means, right? Now, you could either solve this, right? You could either solve this by foiling everything out and then factoring, and there's nothing wrong with that. So one option, right? So option 1 here, well, option 1 is really put it in a calculator in second calc 0, right? You could put exactly this in a calculator, and you could find the zeros, second calc 0. And that's possibly the best option. It's not what my brain would probably do, but I tend to depend less on a calculator. So we can do that in just a sec, right? Another option, right? Another option, option 2, would be to FOIL everybody out, FOIL out, and then clean up, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. So if you chose to FOIL everything out, this would be an x squared minus 10x plus 25 plus a 4x minus a 20, right? And then plus a 4, right? And if you did that, you're going to end up getting that this is x squared minus 6x plus a 9, which is going to factor into x minus 3 times x minus 3. So your answer just ends up being x equals 3. And that's great. Another kind of clever option, and you may or may not see this, right? So here's another kind of clever option. So option 3 is to essentially factor where you say, hey, let's call u x minus 5. This is u squared plus 4u plus 4. So this factors into u plus 2 times u plus 2, which means that this factors into x minus 5 plus 2, x minus 5 plus 2. Oh, hey, look, this is an x minus 3 and an x minus 3. It's the same situation. I still get x is 3. So if you didn't see either of the other two options, right, you certainly could have put this in your calculator, right? You could have put in x minus 5 squared plus a 4 times the quantity x minus 5 plus a 4, right? And you could graph this in second calc 0, and you'll see that the 0 is at 3, right? That's one option. If you had put this entire thing in, so if you did second insert, let's say you put the original graph in, like that's also an option, 1 divided by, and then you could put all of this in parentheses, and you'll see that there's an asymptote at 3, and there's your asymptote at 3. So any way you do it, you end up with a 3. Again, I'm going to justify this all the way to the right, but you could put it in any of the 4 spots, just don't add any extra zeros or anything.